Yo, what's going on, world? Today I'm definitely doing something different. Again, I'm back again doing something even more different than before. So, as you may or may not know, I fancy myself as a creative. I like writing and storytelling and all that stuff, and I would like to kind of put my spin on different things that I've watched. Both new and old, like what I'm talking about today, Real Steel, for those who may not know. It's an older movie, came out in 2010, 2011. I actually watched it for the first time a week ago, maybe. And so basically, I'm just kind of want to give my ideas on what I would like to put in it if I was to be invited into a round table anywhere. Somebody want to meet in the writer's room, let me know. Send me location, as Khabib would say. Um, let me know what's going on. And like my thing with the internet as a whole, like YouTube specifically, really is like people will drag something, they'll talk as much shit as possible about it, but they don't have anything. They're not adding anything to the conversation. So, and I'm not saying that I didn't like the movie. I enjoyed it. It was cool. You know what I mean? But there's just some things that I would change, and I'm just gonna kind of talk about that. So obviously we're gonna start with an overview, which will be filled with spoilers. I'm not getting into the nitty gritty, but I will be spoiling enough. So if you are worried about that, don't watch it. Then again, this movie's almost 15 years old. What are you doing? Like what's happening? Um, yeah. So let's go ahead and get into it. All right. So just a quick recap for Real Steel. Hugh Jackman's character, uh, Charlie, he is going to go and fight a bull, not him personally, but with a robot, right? So this takes place in a almost dystopian future. Like that's not really. It's kind of weird. They never really kind of establish it, but it's kind of dystopian esque in some regards for sure. But he goes to go fight a robot, fight a bull. I'm sorry, with his robot, and in that he loses his robot. It gets smashed up pretty good, so he loses his main source of income. 10 minutes after that, he learns of his ex girlfriend's passing and that he's going to have to, step up for his kid. Or so you would think, but we'll get into that in a little bit. You know what? We'll just talk about it now. So his ex girlfriend's sister said that she's willing to watch him. So, well, not even watch him, just take custody of him. So he's like, hey, I'll sell you the kid. You know what I mean? Like, you just give me some bread and we'll just take it from there. I'll sign the paperwork. It's nothing. And so basically, he sells the kid who he used to fund the robot, but then he has to watch the kid for, reasons, but he still gets the money. So he has some of the money, which is enough to go buy a new robot. He go buys the robot and he basically go gets it smashed up in his next fight. Like, I don't is he's almost not even almost like it got to the point where I would say it's like degenerate gambling where it's like you have money and you can kind of do a safer thing with it, but you choose to just nah, I got it, I can do this. And he ran in there, no plan, and it was just smashed up immediately. And I was like, what is the plan? And mind you, Charlie is a professional fighter. So for you to jump into, well, he used to be a professional fighter. For you to jump into a fight with no game plan is ridiculous. Like, I get it's a movie, but like, what, whatever. All right, we not even. That's not like I said. I'm not just here to drag it. I'm not. I'll add some stuff. I promise. I will. Um. So he loses his new robot, which he just bought with his son's, the funds he received from selling his son. Bars, I know. But then he takes his son into some breaking and entering, you know what I'm saying? The things that you do with your son, your 11-year-old kid, that's what you do. And he almost dies. All right, that's cool. They find a robot, which they steal from this place. And basically, this robot has a shadow function. So basically, if I go like this, the robot will go like that, like almost real time, same time, right? Like just immediately. And I guess no other robots can really do that. It's a really special thing that it can do. Okay, cool. I'll take it. Um, he goes out, go get some fights. I don't know if you heard that. That was my little one. You know, we love her. We big fans of babies over here. So we, you know, he go get some fights, and he ended up winning a couple. Gets invited to the premier robot league and wins a fight, and then he goes and fights the champion. So I don't know why he's the champion. He's Zeus. You know, he's king of the universes, both known and unknown. Like they was gassing my man up. On the other side of the break, from our sponsors, which if you're into Real Steel, I feel like you would definitely appreciate the sponsor for today. And by sponsor, I just mean something that I really want you to look at. I am so excited to get a chance to talk to you guys a little more about On Soru Go. So here we have a team of over a dozen people that are coming together to bring you some of the dopest indie manga / comics that you can find. We're trying to have a story for everybody, different types of stories and art styles, and I'm really proud of what the guys have been coming up with. It's really cool. So whenever you get a chance, please swing over to sorugo.com. Find your new favorite indie manga from the go. Okay, and now we're going to just go into things that I would change if I was to be invited into a round table of some sort of writing room, as it were. Look, let me know. I'm available. Shoot me the addy. Um, so basically, my biggest thing that I had an issue with that was like I was truly like, oh my goodness, I kind of hate this guy, was the whole bad dad thing that they had going on. I would not. I'm gonna keep it. I'll keep it. I understand that that's what they were going for. It makes sense for that character, but it just wouldn't be somebody that I would write because I can't relate to it. I don't understand it. I had a great father. I have a great father. Love your dad. Appreciate you. Um, it was just. I'm like, man, this is this is next level ridiculous. Like, it's no way. But besides that, I didn't have no big beef with Charlie. Besides, obviously he made some questionable decisions, but we can see if we can kind of do something to tweak that a little bit. So instead of him fighting with the bull at the beginning of the movie, I think that it'd be more insightful to have him training in traditional boxing, even though at this point, story wise, they say that traditional boxing and just human combat sports altogether is kind of is just dead. Nobody cares about it. They only care about robots fighting at this point, right? And by the end of the movie, Charlie's abilities and insight in fighting is supposed to be so important, and I feel like it would be better to show that with him in the ring training with someone or something, even if it's just him on a dummy. Not Wing Chun, but just something. Hitting the heavy bag, give me something. Not him fighting a bull. Bullfighting not cool. We don't endorse bullfighting in 2024. I'm sorry. I'm sure somebody's gonna be mad about it. My bad. Um, you know, I just feel like, okay, so let's say you have him got his training montage going, and the guy who bull he was fighting was someone who he had boxed in the past, and the dude had beat his ass, and they had a little history there. And okay, you can keep that. You can, let's say you have someone training, or he's training with somebody, and he's just having flashbacks of getting pieced up and how he has a relationship with that guy because they still have a relationship post their fight careers. Because like I said, it's a tighter knit community. It's a smaller community, so you're gonna have relationships with people, even friendly or not. You'll have relationships with people that's in that same field. Um, you the biggest thing that I would kind of turn on his head in this would be, instead of having it be robots, we do like little mech suits or smaller mech suits, or like exosuits, something that you still have the person in there fighting, because you have to keep the human connection And ultimately, yes, when you lose a robot, you lose your source of income, but you don't feel that as much as you would losing a life, right? Like, not saying that I need somebody to get their shit knocked off, but like, or just seeing somebody get beat up that you actually care about, or because if you're into sports and you watch basketball, you put yourself in their shoes. You're telling them, no, they should have went this way. I watch fights all the time. I'm a big fan of UFC. And I'm like, oh man, you just gotta this, that, and this. Knowing damn well that if I was to bring my ass up in the octagon, I'm getting folded like fresh linen. It's bad. Downy fresh. Like, it's bad. Fresh off the clothesline. Like, it'll be bad. But I'll put myself in that situation because I can do that with people. You can't really do that with robots. And at the end of the movie, like I said, Charlie's ability is what really saved the day, right? And so now you have Charlie outside the ring shadow boxing, and their robot, the robot name is Adam. He is basically just doing exactly what Charlie is doing outside the ring. And it's just the baby. But yeah, so it's I don't know. It's crazy. Like, I just it was just the most ridiculous thing just seeing Charlie outside the ring fighting. But it's like, you know, there was no the stakes weren't really there, I feel like, because it's like, yeah, you might lose some money, you might lose your source of income, but you can bounce back from that. And yeah, I mean, I guess you can bounce back from a lost fight, but it's not the same. It just isn't the same. And uh the Adam, the robot, was able to understand Max. They had a scene where he was just like, Max had the robot pick him up, and he was just like, "You understand me?" And Adam gave him the look like, "It's our little secret. Don't tell anybody." And he's like, "All right, cool, I won't." But it didn't add anything. It didn't. I don't understand what was happening. I feel like it was just weird, man. And Adam is creepy. His face is mad creepy. Like, it looks like something out of a scary movie. Like, not a fan. Take it away. I'm scared. Um, but besides that, I would say show the importance of the robots slash mechs. Just in the world overall. Like, I get that they're important for the combat sports world thing, but like, if you're using them in that, I feel like they would be used in other things as well. So you kind of just speak on how they were originally used in a war, possibly, or maybe a work environment, which would make a lot of sense, especially like exosuits and stuff like that. So instead of forklifts, you have people using exosuits, which is, hey, I'd rather be in a exosuit than the forklift. That's cool. I can watch a movie about somebody doing that for work as opposed to somebody being on a forklift. I'm just saying. Um, but they're like, no, it's just for entertainment. Nothing else is really futuristic. They showed a futuristic poster for the little ring girl. She was okay. That was cool, I guess, but it was just random. It just seemed random, and like, just the setting. I feel as if they didn't really like key in exactly what was going on in the world. Like, why are we having underground robot fights at a zoo? Like, is this a dystopian future? Like, is what's happening? I got this bad guy with this mohawk that is like trying to take this kid's money. Like, it was just little stuff like that. But all in all, it was a fun movie. It was a fun watch. Like I said, that's not what I'm saying. So don't think I'm just beating up on a robot movie. But I just some things that I would do differently. So that was pretty much it. Just a real quick one. Appreciate you guys for sticking around this long. If you did, be sure to like, subscribe, share it with somebody. And like I said, once again, be sure to check out on sorugo.com. They got some cool stuff. And it'll be for everybody. They'll have something for everybody for sure. A lot of different stuff. And if you're into this, I have a feeling that you might appreciate that. So Thank you. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, and I'll see you at the next one. Yeah, let me know if you have anything else that you think I should do this for, possibly. Like, I'll do it, in the future for sure. Um, I'll, maybe right now kind of start off on movies. I feel like that'll be easier for me to stomach than shows. I don't really watch too much shows and stuff. Like, I was only watching this on Netflix because I was up. It was like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. I was like, I can't sleep. I'll just throw something on, and I ended up watching the movie. But hey, you know how that goes. But yeah, guys, I appreciate it. Thank you. Have fun. Be safe. Peace.